The doctor wanted to use a cutter to open up the pink crab. As the blade went deeper, white liquid started leaking out of the crab. When the shell was lifted, the spot that should have been filled with tasty roe was instead packed with an unknown white substance. Annie pulled out a drop of the liquid with a straw and added a drop of human blood. Under the microscope, she saw something terrifying. The bacteria in the white liquid were quickly devouring blood cells. Annie was now sure that the white liquid was Vibrio vulnificus. Since this kind of crab had never been found before, Annie could only judge by its appearance. These crabs had no eyes, which meant they had always lived underground, and normally crabs don't show up on land. But not long ago, huge groups of them migrated from the sea to land. They even took over a small town and ate hundreds of people. Any guess that all these crabs were controlled by Vibrio vulnificus? They spread into big cities. It would cause a serious disaster for humans. Annie immediately reported her findings to the government. She suggested stopping all fishing right away and sealing off the coastline. She also said people near the sea should not swim or drink unboiled water. But the higher UPS worried this would hurt the coastal economy, so they rejected her advice. They had no idea a wave of revenge from the ocean was already building. At that time, on a research ship out at sea, something went wrong. Ruth, the observer, was video chatting with a friend when her computer screen began flashing non-stop. Then the whole ship started shaking hard. A huge number of bubbles rose from the seabed. 10 minutes later, the ship was swallowed by the ocean. When Carrie heard that Ruth had died, she was heartbroken. He kept rewatching Ruth's last video and noticed something strange. Right before the ship sank, a weird light was glowing outside the window. Carrie pulled the audio from the video and found it matched the frequency of the mysterious light under the sea. On top of that, at the same time the ship went down, 2 other ships also sank in strange accidents. Satellite data showed that the water temperature in those areas spiked when the ship sank. Harry also discovered a hydrothermal vent near the shipwreck sites. She guessed something had opened the vent, releasing methane and triggering a blowout, which caused the accidents. But her superiors didn't believe her theory. The vent was dormant, and even if it suddenly erupted, the lava would cool before reaching the surface. There was no way it could keep the surface water hot for more than an hour, and nothing could move that much methane straight onto a ship. But Tony chose to believe Carrie. Earlier, Tony had found strange worms deep in the ocean. These worms kept eating methane hydrate, which had already caused parts of the seabed to collapse. Through his research, Tony learned the worm reproduced quickly and appeared near crowded coastal cities. If they kept multiplying, the sea level would rise. When that happened, the land would all be flooded. To figure out what was happening in the ocean, Tony and Carrie decided to work together.